What up, people? Welcome to the season finale edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Yes, man. This has been interesting. Normally, I don't do seasons, but at the same time, in real life, I go through seasons. So I figured it would be apropos for my actual virtual life to do seasons as well. So this is the season 2 finale. I'm going to be taking a month break, and I'll be returning sometime toward the beginning of March. I believe the tentative date for the return, or should I say the season premiere, the season 3 premiere of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph would be March 9th. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm not going to lie, I'm doing because I think I might be catching a little stomach bug, and or my greediness got the best of me, and I had some seafood rice from Bed-Stuy Fish Fry. It's fried rice with grilled salmon, grilled shrimp, magnifique. But only one problem. I think I let it sit out too long because Saturday was a long day, and took a nap and left it on the stove. And then, of course, I got up and I was starving. I was famished, if you will. And I commenced to eat some of that food that had been sitting out. So since then, my stomach has been blub blub blub. Not really blub blub blub. I've had a little cramp here. So anyway, besides that, I'm doing pretty good. Still trying to fight this little cold, these little sniffles, and trying to get over the shock and awe of what happened yesterday, which would be Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, that is, in the Super Bowl, with the Philadelphia Eagles stopping the Kansas City Chiefs dead in their tracks for their uh, historic three-peat. What's going to happen? And guess what's not going to happen? Guess what else is not going to happen? Not talking about the Super Bowl on this program. If you want to hear Super Bowl thoughts of yours truly, please tune in to the season finale of HGF with myself and the Mojo King sometime the end of this week. We're beholden to give y'all one more episode, and best believe normally we don't do post Super Bowl episodes, but we figured why not? And due to the overwhelming response that we've gotten from our Super Bowl and Friends episode, I think it's well needed and well deserved that we give everybody a nice, tidy season finale, if you will. So, with all that being said, what's on deck this week? What's on deck for this season finale? Well, I know I'm about a week late on a lot of things, but listen, all my content is always evergreen. Matter of fact, Mike Steph is the definition of evergreen because no matter what, anything I say is always pertinent. Anything I say is always relevant. Anything I say can be taken from now and fast forward to December and it'll still remain relevant. But neither here nor there. On tap this week will be my thoughts on the blockbuster trade in the NBA concerning the Dallas Mavericks moving Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. And not only that, for Anthony Davis. Yeah, you heard me correct. Pretty much even swap, some ancillary pieces, but only one first round pick was involved. And what makes it even interesting is that supposedly LeBron had no idea this was going to happen. Luka Doncic damn sure didn't have no idea that this was going to happen. So all these clandestine meetings had taken place 3-4 weeks prior to them actually pulling the trigger. And yeah, that's number one. Yes, I had to talk to my lovely daughter, Main Event K, because we have an excursion that we need to go on as soon as I finish recording this said podcast. But yeah, LeBron didn't know. Luka didn't know. Supposedly Rich Paul didn't know. There's a whole bunch of parties that didn't know, and I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of said trade. Number 2 on the docket will be Jey Uso winning the WWE 2025 Royal Rumble. Yes, underdog main event Jey won the Royal Rumble. But while that's big news in itself, what I'm going to tackle is all the backlash that I've been hearing, that I've been reading, that I've been watching, and I've been just studying over a large segment of the population, large segment of the IWC seems to have a big problem with the fact that Jey Uso was tapped to win this year's Royal Rumble. And my question is, why? Why? I don't understand why. And being the fact that this has been such a controversial supposed pick, I'm going to try to weed through all the hypocrisy that I see based on the IWC. I mean, I swear, these dudes, these people just want something to complain about. And I am going to go down a whole list of situations where y'all wanted one thing, and then when y'all finally got it, now there's a big problem. So yeah, that will be on tap. Also, a return of the newest segment of the Social Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, Heel Turn, in which I have a lot of unpopular opinions on situations that's happened in the current events, in the current news. And one of them, well, actually two that I'm going to discuss this week, is one, the trade that happened between the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors, in which the Golden State Warriors acquired famous malcontent Jimmy Butler for their last hurrah, that last run. And not only that, he got rewarded with a 2-year extension, something that he's been bitching and moaning about, and he finally got it. But that's not the angle I'm going to get at. I'm going to get, once again, back on the topic of, listen, Warriors, just give it up. Just give it up. Like, it's not working. It's not working. And I will be discussing, this is going to be like pretty much a basketball wrestling mix this week. I'll be discussing the latest list of WWE talent that was released over the weekend. And once again, the fake outrage by the IWC over this talent that's been released, but yet, before they were released, did you really have a problem with them? Did you really care? I swear. So I'm going to do it the only way I know how, and that's to sprinkle my salty thoughts all over the damn place. But before I get into all that, I'm going to shoot at this point in time, being the fact I'm starting to seem like I record on Mondays now. I am going to give a quasi new segment, gimmick infringement, salty trap tales. My brothers at Gimmick Infringement have an actual segment called Trap Tales, in which they recount the experiences in the neighborhood gym, neighborhood gymnasium, their workout tales. And being the fact that I have a lack of creativity when it comes to such things, and being the fact that I am the self-proclaimed third member of Gimmick Infringement, I feel emboldened enough to give my own take on the Gimmick Infringement segment of Trap Tales. This week, actually, a couple hours ago, me and my lovely daughter Mia went to Planet Fitness. Yes, that's becoming a regular Monday morning occurrence. We walk to Planet Fitness and then we do set exercises. And which is crazy because I got a whole bunch to say about how my daughter underestimates her pop, which is crazy. But first and foremost, I'm a fast walker. I've always been a fast walker. It runs in my genes. Well, at least I thought it ran in my genes. I guess it must have stopped at me because, shoot, I was leaving old girl in the dust. You don't believe me? Here, take a. I didn't leave her. She can't keep up. Like, we walk to the gym. That's our routine on Monday mornings. We walk to the gym. I'm not strolling to the gym. I'm exercising on my way to the gym. What happened?
We're speed walking. That's what we listen. It's a nice little stroll. Not super slow, but at a decent pace. You over here just like rushing. Dang, enjoy the scenery. Something, please.
No, this is pre-workout. You know how people stretch? You know how people take a little sip? No, I walk. But I walk just for the fact of walking. No, I walk for exercise. Now, I'm about to speed up on her again.
Yo,
Look at her. Look at this. She's gone. She's gone.
I hope you know we're still stretching.
We ain't stretching shit. Yeah. Like, I want to say we probably walk about a mile. Yeah, approximately a mile and a half to the probably a little bit more than a mile. Um, to the Planet Fitness. And look, I'm all about my steps, right? I try to get at least 10,000 steps, and that's on a slow day. Now, there's days that if I'm not working, I'm not going outside, guess what? I'm not going to get my steps, but neither here nor there. So, this is the easy way for me to get my steps is to walk to the gym, build up, build up the endurance, get the heart rate moving, and then get on the treadmill. Now, if it was up to me, I stay on the treadmill the whole time I'm in the gym. But my daughter mentioned to me, Dad, I asked you to come to the gym, not only because I want you to come to the gym with me, because I like having a gym partner. And you just pretty much lead me. So she puts our stuff in her locker because I'm a guest, and then I get on the treadmill. Now, last time I stayed on the treadmill, and she went over and did varying amounts of differing exercises and equipment. So I said, listen, this will be the compromise. We walk to the gym, we do a half hour, or should I say, I do a half hour on the treadmill, and then I would join you at the equipment and I would see what benefits me. And we did that. So, one of the things, of course, was my treadmill. Now, that was just the very beginning. That's why I just said 9 calories burned because I just started. But regardless. So after I do my half hour on the treadmill, I follow her over to the equipment. And long story short, not to belabor the point, but she underestimates her pop. She underestimates her dad. She doesn't realize that, first of all, she made a comment when we stretched, even though I said we wasn't stretching shit. We stretched. I said, you know what? I'll stretch with you. So we stretched. She made a comment. She said, "Yeah, we were stretching. I looked over and I didn't realize you can bend like that. Though you're that flexible." Really? Wow. So she just thought I was just a sieve. You don't simply get this simply ravishing body, dad bod of mine, by sitting on the couch recording podcasts all day. No, you actually have to have some semblance of genetics. You have to have some semblance of athletic ability. You have to have some semblance of self respect. But no, it gets worse. It gets worse. Do you know what else she did? So I think I went over to leg press, right? It was something, first it was like a lat pull or something. Eh, not really my cup of tea, right? So I said, you know what? That looks like a leg press. I could do a leg press. So I get over to the leg press. And she's like, so I told him, like, look, it's only a 140 right now. She said, oh, you're doing it too fast. I'm like, what do you mean I'm doing it too fast? Look, this is the pace that I need to go. First, she was shocked that I did 140. I said it was on 220. So she looked at me with skepticism. I was like, you know, I could do 220. She's like, really? I said, yeah, I'll do a set of 220. Or I'll just do a set of 10. And I did a set of 10, 220. No problem. She was amazed. She was like, wow. I said, what? You don't think your dad can do a leg press of 220? That's ridiculous. Listen, I might not be a chiseled Adonis, but one of my strongest attributes, and it's always been one of my strongest attributes, has been my legs. Probably the strongest part of my body are my legs. And being the fact that she is not going to watch this episode whatsoever, hopefully my wife does, she fell in love with my legs. I had scrumptious legs. I had thick thighs. I was more like Saquon. Pause. But yeah, I had Saquon thighs. I had I had strength in the thighs as my lovely daughter, main event K, comes into the building. What's up, Kay? How you doing? What's the matter? It stink. Why it stink?
I don't know.
What it smell like? You know, I smell blonde, so I don't know.
Fishy under.
Fishy underwear? Ooh. So she said somebody smell like fish. That means they need to wash you know what.
Yeah.
Don't you want people to see your nice blonde do? Okay. Look at Blondie over here. It looks nice, right? Don't she look like timeless Tony Storm?
Who's that? Oh.
Or you rather Mariah May?
I don't know what that is. I know who
Yeah,
Tony Storm
she
is.
is definitely not AEW fan. Tell you the truth, she done which guard? She done kind of shoot away the wrestling thing. Matter of fact, since I have you on right now, even though I'm going to speak about it later, but I might as well get your opinion right now. What did you think about Kendrick Lamar's um halftime performance?
It was good. I feel like it was a little bit short though,
Why do you feel like it was short?
because I was waiting on SZA, and to be honest, I was waiting on her to perform all the stars. Her second verse, I was waiting on that, but she only performed the chorus. She was only there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, because it was his
But
thing.
the show, I
I know
know,
I said Kendrick Lamar and SZA, but listen,
but still,
go
like,
ahead.
I know, but it wasn't bad. I don't get why people are so harsh. I liked it.
No, I agree. I mean, it was all right. You know, I knew when it said Kendrick Lamar and SZA, I was like, yeah, I was waiting. I'm like, all right, well, SZA's not gonna come out until they start singing All the Stars. She's not getting any solo time. It's not like she's gonna sing Kill Bill.
Mm,
It's not like she's gonna sing Shirt.
I know.
It's not like she's gonna sing uh what's the other one? For the Weekend.
I know, because
That would be crazy though.
I was
For the Weekend.
expecting,
Hmm?
I don't know. It was still good though.
But you said you felt like it was short.
Mm.
Well,
Like Rihanna's thing, it was kind of rushed. I hate when they just like 10,
did you
13 minutes.
well, it's only 15 minutes. Did you think Usher's was short?
Oh,
Oh wow. You see, that's the age gap. She doesn't remember.
I do, but I
She
don't.
don't. She remembers Rihanna the year before, but last year she don't remember Usher.
I still watched it.
Yeah, but yeah, it just went through one ear right the other, right?
Hmm.
Just who? Yeah. All right. Well, after I finish recording, then we're gonna go and take care.
Ooh.
No, go ahead. Don't worry about it. I got it. You got anything else to say?
No, bye guys.
Bye. Bye. My lovely daughter. My lovely daughter, main event K. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
Can I see?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Bloodline in effect. Original OG bloodline in effect. Yeah. Oh, you know your sister thinks her father's a weakling, right? Went to the gym and I did the leg press. I did 220, and she was shocked that I could do 220. So when we're leaving the gym, this is the end of Trap Tales. When we were leaving the gym, she was like, "Are your legs wobbly?" I said, "No." She said, "Your legs don't feel weak?" I said, "No."
Did you do the Stairmaster?
Huh?
Did you do the
No, I don't do a Stairmaster. I do treadmill. Treadmill.
Stairmaster? Okay, so the treadmill is easier.
I like the treadmill. Stairmasters, whatever. You know, depends on what you're looking for. But I'd rather do the treadmill. Stairmaster. See, this is another one. She's like, "Did you do the Stairmaster?"
I mean, I did it before.
Oh, yeah, that's
No,
yeah, the steps. Yeah. Treadmill. Treadmill for the win. Just do the incline, you good. But yeah, that's the end of another edition of Gimmick Infringement, Salty Trap Tales, with a little Kendrick Lamar performance review added into it. Oh boy. All right, well, with all that being said, let's get this show on the road, huh? Because since main event K is in the building, that means I'm on the clock. So good night. Mwah! And goodbye. Bang!
Salty thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph bacon in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world of what he does. Tap in.
The Los Angeles Lakers acquired Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Anthony Davis in a blockbuster deal that sent shockwaves through the NBA last week. The 25-year-old Doncic was eligible to sign a 5-year, $345 million contract extension with the Mavericks this past summer. This upcoming summer. Doncic, who has been often injured this season, has just played in 22 games, averaging 28.1 points a game, 8.3 rebounds, and 7.8 assists in those contests. But he has not suited up since sustaining a calf strain on Christmas. The Lakers acquired the next face of their franchise in Luka Doncic. This set up as well as possible for a post-LeBron James era. What does this say about LeBron's future with the Lakers? Is there any? They effectively acquired his replacement. Yes, they did. Did LeBron know? Did JJ Redick know? What does this mean for Bronny? They got now the Lakers are famous for making moves such like this. Receiving a lot and giving very little. Look at all the marquee players that they've gotten in their franchise. They got Kareem in his prime via trade. They got Kobe at the very start of his career, but that was via a draft day trade. Because remember, Kobe was slated to go to the Charlotte Hornets. They got Shaquille O'Neal in his prime, albeit not a trade, but one of the first big free agent signings in the summer of 1996. They got Pau Gasol in a fleecing from the Memphis Grizzlies in a trade. And this was after the NBA nixed the deal in which the Lakers would have acquired Chris Paul, also in his prime at the time. Will this reset them? Will acquiring Luka Doncic allow them to go forward with a less oxygen eating, sucking figure in the building? Because when LeBron's in the building, he is the planet in which everything revolves. Matter of fact, he is the sun in which everything revolves around. I want to hear from all these pundits when Luka finally gets on the court, and let's say they go through a streak in which they lose 4 out of 5, and now since it's past the trading deadline, I want to hear all the punchers say LeBron still needs more help. When Luka is healthy, he is definitely a top 10 player in this league. Some would say he's a top 5 player in this league. I probably wouldn't be amongst them, but regardless, that is the reputation. Now, here's for the scuttlebutt that surrounds this trade. By all accounts, Luka had no idea that this was about to happen. And from what people are reporting, he hadn't issued any type of trade request internally. So I guess it doesn't really matter whether or not he would have re-signed with the team, because it doesn't even matter if he was re-signed with the team that acquired him now. Now, even though everybody knows this is just damn near formality, according to reports, there wasn't a guarantee that he was going to re-sign with the Lakers either. Yeah. Now, on the other side of the ledger is something. This is something that was bound to happen. And the reason why most, if not all, Maverick fans are apocalyptic about this one-sided deal. I just spent a little time talking about the Luka part, the Lakers part. What about the Mavs part? Well, the Mavericks received often injured big man Anthony Davis. And guess what happened? In his debut game, which he was utterly brilliant, in the third quarter, he suffered a left abductor strain and is expected to miss multiple weeks, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. His absence could reportedly stretch up to a month. Anthony Davis sustained the non-contact injury in the third quarter of the Mavs game against the Rockets this past weekend. He exited the court under his own power, but he was clearly hurt and never returned after being announced as doubtful. The injury spoiled his debut game in the Mavs uniform, but he exited with 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in 31 minutes. It was everything that the Mavs had hoped that they were going to get, but except for the end result, meaning old street clothes, who they say is injured once again. Now, as reported by longtime NBA insider Mark Stein on his Substack, this past Sunday, Mark Cuban related to Stein that he was stung by the trade and lack of advance notice he received about the decision to trade Luka. Quote, by the time Cuban found out about the Luka for AD trade, it was too late. Mavs owner Patrick Dumont never approached for his advice, Stein wrote on Sunday. Sources say Cuban urged Harrison not to go ahead with the trade, with the swap, only to find out that the deal had already been sealed with the Lakers by a verbal handshake. When Cuban sold his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks in November 2023 to the Las Vegas casino magnate Miriam Adelson and her family, making Dumont her son-in-law the Mavs governor, it was reported that Cuban would retain control over all basketball operations. Yeah, listen, I'm sorry. Once you sell your majority stake, I don't give a fuck what they tell you. You are no longer in charge. You no longer have a say. Maybe you have a say for that very, very little bit during the transition period. But guess what? Once they get all their ducks in a row, you no longer matter. They don't give a fuck about you. And I guess Mark Cuban learned the hard way that his input is no longer needed for something that's no longer his concern. As I sip some coffee, some decaffeinated coffee, in my WrestleMania 40 branded BRP Body More Bottles cup. Now, here's where my opinions come into play. You know what's the most important part about this trade? It's not Luka going to the Lakers for talent. No. It's not AD going to the Mavs and having the Mavs fleece. No. The most important part about the trade is the fact that it effectively took whatever leverage LeBron thought he had on the Laker franchise and turned it to nil. I'm not going to go as far as some people are saying, well, Kobe's having a good laugh at this. No. Listen, I'm not talking about the deceased. I'm not talking about the past. And I'm not talking about past as in P-A-S-T. I'm talking about the past as in P-A-S-S-E-D. That's not for us to even think about. And tell you the truth, to me, it's borderline disrespectful. But he is not the first in a long line of Lakers players that thought their shit didn't stink and evidently said, you don't run this franchise. We run this franchise. When Shaq pretty much gave them the ultimatum, it's either me or Kobe. Guess what? Shaq, you can take your big ass through the door. LeBron gave the Lakers what they needed, what they were looking for over 4 years ago. And that was a chip in the abbreviated pandemic, COVID-laden season in the bubble. He gave them their chip. That's all they were looking for. Thank you, LeBron. Besides everything else, we don't give a F about you. Listen, we did you a favor. We drafted your son to a NBA contract, guaranteed money, and we allowed y'all to make history under the Laker banner. As for anything going further in the future, my boy, you're going to be 41 years old. You don't run shit around here. Do you really think the Lakers were the first franchise in LeBron's history? Yeah, I said it just like that. I meant to say it for that. The Lakers are the first franchise in LeBron's long, storied history that got from underneath him before he had a chance to pivot. Cleveland was left flat-footed the first time. He bounced. Went to Miami, got his 2 chips. Pat thought he had a real chance. He bounced. Went back to Cleveland under his own terms. Gave them that one championship, that one forever championship. Cleveland was like, you know what? Listen, you do what you feel. Kyrie took it upon himself. I'm getting up out of here before shit starts to burn. He went to LA. He got them the chip. He forced their hand in getting AD. He forced their hand numerous times of getting this part, getting this part, getting this part. I don't want this coach. I want this coach. I don't want this coach. I want this coach. Now they're looking at the writing on the wall and they're like, listen, you're 40 years old. You're still an amazing basketball player at the age of 40. But guess what? We're a franchise. We're a forever franchise. We do not march to the drum, to the beat of the LeBron drum. We march to the beat of Jeannie Buss. We march to the beat of the Lakers brand. The Lakers always seem to get that marquee star right when they need it. They're never in a low for long. That long low that they had, that's only because, unfortunately, they allowed D'Antoni to run Kobe into the ground. Kobe had that Achilles injury, and he was never up to his stature. But still, he was a good player, but he wasn't up to his stature. He was no longer able to tell everybody, get on my back. I'm going to lead you to the promised land. That was the long low. And then they had to get up out of that, bring LeBron in. LeBron had to put his pieces in play. And thanks to a worldwide pandemic, got a championship. Still, what makes you wonder, was LeBron patient zero? Did LeBron have Did LeBron go over to China and get that virus and spread it over the United States so he can get his long sought after 4th championship ring? Just asking. Listen, stranger things have happened, such as an uptick in the bird flu, the H1N1. I swear, it's almost like LeBron's sort of writing on the wall. He's like, listen, we're going to have to bubble up again. Got to get this championship. I know that's effed up to say, but there's a lot of truth behind jokes. Anyway. So where does this lead you? Where does it leave LeBron? LeBron has a no trade clause, but where's he going? Where does he want to go? If this doesn't work out, who's going to be to blame? Listen, Luka's not going to be the expendable one here. Yeah, you could go based on salaries and everything, but is it any surprise that AD was the one that got shipped off? Now, if they were that, eager to move off of Luka, I'm quite sure a combination of things might have sufficed if you gave them extra draft picks. But see, that's what makes the Lakers so smart. Begrudgingly for me to say, they gave up 1 draft pick and they gave up a 31-year-old, often injured piece that got them a championship and pretty much was just going to rest on his laurels. Doncic, Luka, I really look at his face here. Look at that smile. That smile is the smile of a man that really does not want to be there. That's really in a dreamlike state. Like, damn, I got yellow. All right, they gave me 77. Why am I standing next to this guy with this leather jacket that's too small for him, and this former podcaster that was an NBA player back in the day that's going to be my coach? Yeah, I see the banners in the back. Not only that, y'all kind of moved me further away from my motherland. Yeah. Yeah, what you think I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be in the land of the sun, and that's supposed to get me in shape? Please. All these vineyards out here? Man, listen, I'll just switch from beer to wine. Please. Unless LeBron is gonna give me some of that Agent X concoction and have me dreaming about immortality. Just saying. Where is it gonna lead? Who knows? Do I really care? Not really. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, the only thing I really care about for this NBA season is my Knicks. And I know some of you are probably like, oh, so since the Knicks are actually decent this year and the Golden State Warriors are struggling, now it's all about your Knicks. Man, fuck you. I've been a Knicks fan since the 80s. Rory Sparrow, Marvin Webster, Ernie Grunfeld, Louis Orr, Hubie Brown, McLean, Patino, Action Jackson, Rod Strickland, Gerald Wilkins, Patrick Ewing, of course, John Starks, of course, Xavier McDaniels, of course. Don't try to pull my Nick card. I go back to when they were playing on Channel 9 in the old days, the 80s. But there's just something about the NBA season that just it's not grabbing me this year. Would this grab me? No, but it was fun talking about it. It's just me, Oos. They want 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Jey Uso won the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble. Yeet. So what's the problem? Why the negativity? Huh? Why the negativity? The IWC always wants wrestlers to get rewarded for being over, right? Right? Wasn't that the chief complaint when Vince McMahon was in charge? Look at how many got over on their own merit just to get snuffed out. Zack Ryder, Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, amongst others. To a lesser degree, Kofi Kingston. They rode that wave of Kofi Mania, gave him some nondescript title reign, and then, Brock, the black champion hunter, came in and washed him in 7 seconds. Becky Lynch was another one that got over on their own merit. And Daniel Bryan, begrudgingly, they went with until his injuries just kind of killed that. Becky Lynch, they got behind begrudgingly, but they got behind her in a main event sense, but not as the main face. They still wanted Charlotte to be a face, who we'll get to very, very shortly. Because that's almost the flip side. But now the main event, Jey Uso, has quote unquote grabbed that brass ring, so to speak, and been put in position. As a matter of fact, put himself in position to be selected, to be in the running to win the Royal Rumble, to go on to WrestleMania, not to be the main event, but in a main event position. It's a fucking problem. Why? This isn't some newfound phenomenon when it comes to Jey. Jey Uso has been part of the bloodline story for the last 4 years. 4.5 years to be specific. He was at the very beginning of the bloodline story. As soon as Roman came back, claimed his Universal Championship with Paul Heyman at his side, his first adversary was his own cousin, Jey Uso. Because Jay's looking like, yo, Us, like, yo, what's going on? Just like a couple months ago, we was riding with you against Baron Corbin. So why are you switching up now? What made the bloodline story so compelling, especially at the beginning, was how Roman played psychological mind games against Jey Uso to make him subservient, to make him bend the knee, to make him bend to his whim. Main event Jey, the main event Jey name was born the same time the tribal chief name was born. It was bestowed upon him by Roman Reigns. Yeah, for selfish needs, like, okay, listen, I'm the tribal chief. You're main event Jey. See what I've done for you. 4 years later, it's stuck. Not only did it stuck, Jey Uso has done everything in his power to take that ball and run with it. It's been a steady progression also when it comes to WrestleMania. Think about it. He main evented WrestleMania 39, night 1, as a tag team with his brother, but legitimate main event, last match on the show for night 1, in a title match in which they were the longest reigning tag team champions in history. Him and his brother he had been all throughout the thread. He was intertwined with Roman Reigns. The majority of Roman Reigns' almost 4-year reign as champion. He was the right-hand man. He grew into this position due to the history he has made. So much so that a year or so ago, when it became crystal clear that, yeah, Cody's going to be the one to end the reign of terror, a lot of people is like, Jey should be the one. Because Jey has been there from day one. Down since. Day one shit. Down since. Day one shit. That song, that saying, it's not just a catchy jingle. He's literally been down since day one. I know that song predates the bloodline, but it's so apropos right now because it's just me, Oos. Day one shit. Yeet. Yeah, people try to belittle him and say he's just a catchphrase. Really? If you smell what the Rock is, that was a catchphrase. Catchphrase that's lasted 20 years. Matter of fact, next year would be 30 years since the debut of The Rock. That catchphrase. A lot of people said the same thing about The Rock when he's more talented and more engaging on a mic than Jey. But regardless, the connection is still there. The connection is still there. Like I said, a lot of people thought that Jey Uso should have been the one to beat Roman Reigns for the title. Now, at that time, you could always say, all right, you got Cody. You can even, a lot of people can even give a good saying because for Sami Zayn, perhaps because he was an integral cog in the bloodline. But what made him such an integral cog in the bloodline was the relationship that Sami had with Jey. Yes, I know. He was the honorary Uso bestowed upon him by Roman Reigns, but the honorary Uso based on Jey. That's the approval that he was fighting for. He already had Jim. Jimmy was, even though that was some bullshit, because Jimmy was quick to take his head off. Once he earned Jey's loyalty, that was the icing on the cake. That was the creme de la creme. But yet, everybody acting all brand new. Like this shit wasn't already written. At the Royal Rumble 2023, he temporarily broke away not only from the bloodline, but Sami Zayn when Sami Zayn broke away from the bloodline due to his friendship with Kevin Owens, who coincidentally is right about everything he's saying right now. And then eventually Jey looked at him and he's like, listen, what you thought I was going to leave you for them? I was going to leave you for my blood? And then Jey came to the decision that blood isn't always thicker than water. And when he fully broke away from the bloodline, who welcomed him with open arms? Sami Zayn. Later that year, he main evented SummerSlam in the tribal combat match with Roman Reigns. He's built all this momentum over the course of years. I tell you, years. The popularity and the main story arc of the Bloodline saga was based on the compelling story of Jey Uso coming into his own. But I swear, some of y'all just want to complain just because. Thirsty for engagement, thirsty for views, thirsty for relevance. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I let my words do the talking. I let my actions do the talking. I let my work do the talking. I don't gotta play petty mind tricks with y'all. Yeet. The IWC. Y'all the same people. You want to be blunt? Y'all are the same people that bitch and moan about Charlotte Flair getting pushed down our throats. Aren't y'all? So when the powers that be decide to actually throw you a crumb to say, you know what? All the merchandise you bought, well deserved. All the crowd reaction that y'all give this brother, well deserved. Matter of fact, we hear you. We're gonna put him in a position that seems like y'all want. And guess what? As soon as they do that, y'all turn on him. Like the ungrateful bitches that y'all are. Which is acting for pro, which is actually very ironic that I say that and somebody's on my screen right now. But I digress. Aren't y'all the same people who turned on John Cena when he was jammed down our throat? When John Cena was the Dr. Thugonomics, everybody loved him because he was the underdog. When he beat JBL at WrestleMania 21, 20 years ago, he was the man, right? When he desecrated the WWE title and made it into a spinner, that was creative. But then when he started going through phases of his career, such as being a fake Marine, Rise Against Hate, the whole nine, when he refused to turn heel, even though he was being booed by more than half of the attendance, y'all had a problem with that. And then when he started showing some new moves, everybody was on his shit. Fickle. Brian Danielson, same name, different name, doesn't matter. He was so right when he called y'all fickle. That was a shoot. Y'all the same people that turned on Roman Reigns. Y'all the same people that created Roman Reigns. The character. He bled for y'all. Literally, he bled for y'all. And what did y'all do? Y'all said, oh, he's corny. We'd rather cheer for Brock. Matter of fact, Brock can take the title and leave for months at a time. Guess what? We don't care. As long as it ain't Roman. ABR. Anybody but Roman. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? I remember that. Y'all the same people that talk about the proverbial glass ceiling and then when somebody actually breaks that glass ceiling, I get your panties up in the bunch. How the main event scene can be stale, but then when they actually elevate someone that the majority of y'all roots for, and the majority of y'all probably said in the past, darn, they should give him a shot. Majority of y'all that came out your pocket and bought some merchandise. Now it's said, oh, it's some kiddie shit. Oh, he only got a 5th grade education. Take the mic away from him. There's a lot of implications when it comes to that. I'm not stupid, not blind. I'm not even going to turn this into that discussion right now, but Matter of fact, you know what? This is something I'm going to say. I'm going to, well, I'm going to allude to it later. But what? Jey Uso too niggerish for you? Ask him. He's not well-rounded. He speaks from his emotions. Is there a problem with that? Oh, his moveset is limited. Y'all never heard the term 5 moves of doom? I swear, y'all come up with anything. Y'all come up with anything. There's some who are saying that the main event could be stale, but we just saw this. No need to repeat it. Meaning, the match between Jey and Gunther, if Gunther is if Gunther is going to be his opponent at WrestleMania 41. Do y'all not believe in red herrings? There's a reason why. Now, it might not have come out the way they wanted to come out as in the finish of that match because it was rushed the time, but there was a reason why that match was booked for Saturday Night Main Event right before the Royal Rumble to effectively put Jey Uso in the back of your mind, like, look, we just saw this. There's no way in hell he's going to win. They're not going to have him go against Cody. We just saw Gunther. So, yeah, main event, fuck up out of here. Sometimes it's all right to admit that some people are playing chess while the rest of y'all are watching the checkerboard. But y'all would have rather it just been predictable and then call that out, right? Y'all would have rather John Cena win, and then y'all could say, "Oh man, come on, you know what? He just came back, and they're giving it to him, and blah blah blah. We don't want to see Cena versus Cody, or we don't want to see Cena in the main event match, da da da." But y'all would have rather that, right? Personally, I feel that John Cena is not going to be in a title match. I don't care what he said in the post press conference. The most logical match for John Cena for WrestleMania is him and Logan Paul. There's a reason why he was the one who eliminated Logan Paul. There's a reason why both of them are going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And I guarantee you, Logan Paul is probably going to be the reason why John Cena does not win the Elimination Chamber, setting up their match. Because if you look on Logan Paul's side, who is on the horizon for him? I rest my case. But when it comes back to, when we're talking about John Cena, I ain't gonna lie, can we just go away? Like I'm not really down for the retirement tour. I really give less than a fuck. He's washed. Look at him. I mean, like he looks like a dork. He's still wearing jorts. He's slimmed down, which I understand. He's in his mid-40s. He's balding. Don't even tan. He's goofy. He's still with the goofy shit. Like, I respect John Cena, but then when I look at the past and look throughout the entirety of his career, John Cena is the epitome of what you call a fraud. John Cena is more like Vince McMahon than anybody could possibly imagine. If you really look at him, if you really listen to him, especially outside of the wrestling bubble, I'm not saying he is as belligerent or as just as out there as Vince McMahon, but there's a reason why Vince went with him for 10 years straight. And that they're so simpatico. Even now, that they actually go on double dates. There's a reason for that. But I'd rather Cena just get the hell up out of here. Now, 2 more questions before I end this segment. Where are Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins going? Where are they headed? Do you really want a triple threat match with them? It's almost like I'm leaning toward it's going to be a one-on-one match with Roman and Seth. I guess just because you don't want to put Seth on the outside looking in. And that's something stemming from last year that Seth was the one who cost Roman the title. That deserves a one-on-one match. The favor that Punk is going to have is being the fact that I was distracted by your man, I need you to pull some strings and get me Cody. If anybody thinks Cody and Cena is the right move, I got some congestion pricing to sell you. No. Listen, you want to do that for SummerSlam? I can see it. I'm not even saying Punk needs to beat Cody. But there's a reason why they had that promo right before the Royal Rumble. Yeah, was it to lead into, well, maybe Punk is going to win? Yeah. But you don't have that promo if you don't have any plans of making that match. And as for the women's side, Charlotte wins again. Ay, Dios mío. Oy ve. I really wonder if the plan was actually to bring Charlotte back as a babyface, and they did a quick pivot. Kudos to them for giving a quick pivot. Or was the plan of like, you know what? We know she's going to get booed out. So therefore, we're going to make it look like she's trying to be a face, but she's an ingenuine face to begin with. So we're just going to go full bore with a heel persona. If you look at the promos leading up to her return at the Royal Rumble, that was promos for a heel. Wasn't a face. What average Joe can look at that woman in her 15th iteration of her face and ask and say, yeah, her being on a yacht and lap of luxury, yeah, that's the person I want to cheer for. I'm not going to get into the personal things, because listen, I'm about to be 26. I'm about to reach my 26th year of marriage. So I'm not going to talk about anybody else's. But if anybody thinks that Charlotte Flair was meant to be a face, once again, I got some congestion pricing to sell you. Do people really think that Jimmy Butler is a good pickup for the Golden State Warriors? I'm asking. How old is he? 35, 36? He torched his way out of Miami and got rewarded with a $121 million contract for 2 years. The Warriors, since the last championship season 3 years ago, have been a middling team for most of that time. The crux of the issue to me is the remaining fact that they enabled Draymond Green's behavior for far too long. People wonder why Golden State is not a destination spot for stars. Well, Draymond Green is reason number one, reason number two, reason number three. New players join the team in his abrasive ways automatically make them become either tuned out or tentative. Case in point, early this season, Draymond was seen chewing out Buddy Hield on the court. And since then, it's effectively taking him out of a meaningful role that he looked like he was destined to achieve. He came out the gates sparkling hot. Ever since that incident, seemed like Buddy Hill's like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm collecting my check. Fuck y'all. Now, there was rumors that before trading for Butler, they inquired about a possible reunion with Kevin Durant. And why would Kevin Durant want to go back there? He said, nah, I'm good with that. I wonder why. Yeah, let me go back to the place where somebody called me a bitch in the middle of a game and there was no real repercussion for it. Yeah. Let me go back to that place. Let me go back to that same place that same dude co-cocked the teammate in front of everyone. It wasn't even suspended for his actions. Matter of fact, he was rewarded with $100 million for 4 years. To me, this is one of the most unlikable teams in recent history in my eyes. The fan base is delusional. They feel like everything is owed to them. Nothing is owed to them at all. But as I go into full Sith mode, even though I'm not a Sith anymore, nothing is owed to them at all. It's earned. They earned 4 chips in 8 years. But through arrogance and the refusal to make meaningful changes, it's over. This has the chance to be a dumpster fire of epic proportions, and I'm intrigued to watch it happen. The teams in the West are young, united, and while they cling on to the old guard for a few more years, they're getting passed by year after year after year. It's unfortunate and it's disgusting. And you know who I laid this at the feet of? It's going to be unpopular to say, but that's why this segment is called The Heel Turn. Steph Curry and Steve Kerr. Y'all enabled Draymond Green to effectively F up the last few great years of Steph Curry. Steve Kerr, a lot of the fan base get on him about his substitution patterns and the like. Okay. But his main fault was allowing Draymond Green the amount of rope that they gave him to effectively strangle the whole franchise. It's over. It's over. Ain't nothing, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's almost like they're a zombie corpse of their old ways, thinking that, yeah, we're gonna just add another 35-year-old and magically we're gonna get the youthful elixir of the fountain of youth. There's a reason why this 2 timeline thing never worked, because y'all never enabled the young players to have an equal voice in the direction of this team. Y'all wanted them just to fall in line and just fall mindlessly, even though one of your leaders has been unchecked for years. It's one thing when you have a veteran team, they could check each other. When you have a young nucleus that you're trying to bring up to the level, and they see this man going renegade, this man going vigilante, well, he can't check me. Yo, he just knocked Son straight the hell out. What happens if I speak too loudly? They're gonna allow him to do the same to me? These are things that go on these little young boys' heads. Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. You got Pozinski just acting like he's a vet because he's getting veteran minutes. That's your man. That's your man. Warriors Nation, y'all need a big reality check. Listen, I love Steph Curry. I love Klay Thompson. I love the championships that y'all won. I love the fact that y'all brought into this new era of basketball. Whether fair or foul, people are blaming it on the Warriors. No, I don't blame it on the Warriors. Listen, everybody doesn't have the shooting that the Warriors had. It's their dumbasses that everybody tried to chase after the war. Listen, if you don't have the players, you don't have the gunners, then don't shoot. That's neither here nor there. Y'all part of the problem too. That's why. Listen, I'm so glad I really don't. I don't really engage on social media like I used to, like as in actually pay attention to this shit because it makes no sense, or does it aggravate you? Speaking of aggravation, now the main part of heel turn, where I really get down. WWE releases. Had a slew of them this weekend. And this is where the part where a lot of people are probably going to be like, damn, Mike, that was kind of harsh. Well, that's what this segment is all about. Sonya Deville, Cedric Alexander, Giovanni Vinci, Isla Dawn, Gallows Anderson, Elektra Lopez, Blair Davenport, Authors of Pain, amongst others. And you know what my response for this is? People get released every day, B. Straight like that. Also, I want to know why all this outrage over this release? It's like every time there's a mass release. Oh my God, I can't believe they did it. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh my God, would you rather WWE be like AEW, where you have like 500 motherfuckers on the payroll and you only see 20 every week? I'm sorry. I really wish I had a job that I could sit my ass at home and collect the check like the benefit of welfare. Listen, sometimes it's time to move on. Sonya Deville has been in WWE for 10 years. She clicked especially when she was a GM, assistant GM, that was her perfect role. But guess what? WWE really doesn't deal with managers. And I'm not saying that she's the shits in the ring. Sometimes injuries happen at the worst time. That tag team with her and Chelsea had potential, and then she effed up her knee. When she came back, guess what? Chelsea already gone. She already got a replacement. There was no spot for it. They found the spot for it. They figured, you know what? You're not gonna do just spot based on injury. We're gonna plug you in here, see if you can do work. Guess what? Couldn't do it. Not gonna be able to do it. Now, here's your severance package, 10 years. Guess what? We're not firing you. We're just not bringing you back. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? I'm just asking. Hey, how about this? For the list of people that I just named, when they was on TV, did y'all really care? Did I see anybody having a campaign? Push Blair Davenport? AOP deserves more TV time? Giovanni Vinci was screwed? I might have saw that about Isla Dawn because a lot of people was looking at her ass. Same thing with Elektra Lopez. Did y'all really want Gallows and Anderson stinking up your TV for another week? I was surprised they even got brought back. Because the first run wasn't that great. They gave him AJ Styles, they still couldn't get over. So I would ask once again, did y'all care when they was on your TV. When y'all was in the arena, there was crickets. Crickets, I tell you. PFC, Pure Fusion Collective. Crickets. Once Vinci got squashed in 7 seconds by Apollo Crews of all people, should have known. He should have known the writing was on the wall. He should have been getting his resume ready right then and there. Do y'all not realize there's a long list of wrestlers, a long line of wrestlers waiting to get their first chance? While a lot of these motherfuckers are on their second and third chance? The Authors of Pain came and they went. They were, yes, when they were in NXT, they were a force to be reckoned with. They got brought up to the main roster. Vince got rid of them. Triple H brought him back. And I guarantee you, as soon as he brought him back and put him back in the ring, like, what the fuck did I do? They got a short-term contract. This is another unpopular decision. Well, this is another unpopular opinion. Sometimes when it came to talent, or whether who should be on TV or who should be released, sometimes Vince was right. Why? Because supposedly he's sex trafficking. Listen, I'm sorry. When and you know what? It's heel turn. No filter. When when a woman allows herself to be freight trained in the office environment, that's not sex trafficking. Some people, unfortunately, don't mind getting paid to get piped. It's only when the payment gets cut off that all of a sudden it's a fucking problem. I'm sorry. All because Vince is a irreparable, a despicable individual doesn't make old girl a nun, a holy saint. She spread him. Brock handled his business. John Laurinaitis, with his dumbass, handled his business. Vince, like, look, who else you want? Yo, PS, come over here. PS on her. Sometimes it is what it is, but I digress. Opportunities were had. And unfortunately, it didn't work. You know how many people is in NXT waiting to get caught up? But what? We supposed to keep these spots filled with people that had time after time after time after time? Blair Davenport. Okay. The reason why she was crying when she got caught up, because she knew, you know what that meant? The end. Or NXT, she could bob and weave. Sometimes when you get called up to the main roster, it's sink or swim. You're in the ocean with the sharks. If you get ate up, then you shark bait. Straight like that. I went here. Oh, she didn't have an opportunity. She have an opportunity. Guess what? Sometimes you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. The opportunity is right now. Yeah, I chopped that up. So what? Wrestling goes in cycles. As I said before, this new generation coming up, and even with all these TV hours, 3 hours on SmackDown, 2.5 hours on Raw, up to 3 hours on Raw, 2 hours on NXT. They got a lot of fucking people. I know that everybody needs a job. Trust me, I need a job. And hopefully I'm blessed enough to keep my job for another 6 and change. And then I'm gone. But everyone needs an opportunity as well. I'm not going to advocate for people to get released. But when it happens, oh, bro, I can't believe it. Save it. Save the bullshit. Save it. Save it. It's not like they just cut AJ Styles. It's not like they just cut CM Punk. If they cut Carlito, would you really give a fuck? I'm asking. If one day you woke up and Pete Dunne, aka Butch, was said to be released, would you shed a tear? Listen. Sometimes you gotta get rid of the old to make room for the new. There probably need to be more to be honest. Y'all just bitch to bitch. Straight up. Y'all really do. You really do. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. But listen. I just got one more topic that's actually impromptu. And tell you the truth, I'm gonna keep it short, but this came across my lap right before I recorded. And being the fact that I'm gonna be gone for a month, I need to get this shit off my chest. Kendrick Lamar performed the Super Bowl halftime show yesterday in the Superdome. And I really wasn't going to speak about this. To tell you the truth, I might have tried to shoehorn it into HGF, but I was listening right before I started recording. I was listening to Michael K. And it seems like him, amongst others, have a problem with Kendrick Lamar having the solo stage, the spotlight, if you will, on the halftime show. Do you know he is the first hip hop artist in history to have a solo performance at the Super Bowl halftime? And we have cocksuckers such as Michael K saying that it wasn't wide reaching enough, that it was too much of a focus on a certain demographic. I wonder what demographic he's talking about. The term all inclusive was actually said, meaning that the acts that they should have going forward should be all inclusive. Really? So I guess he's the advocate of it takes all of us, right? Did he say anything about why they decided to conveniently remove in racism? Maybe I'm just asking. So the years in which they had old time rock acts such as Tom Petty and the Rolling Stones and Eric Clapton and them boys, that was wide reaching. I mean, I might have appreciated it, but I'm quite sure a majority of the public, the viewing audience, could give less than the you know what about Tom Petty and them. And listen, this is coming from someone who thought the halftime show was just all right. It was all right. To me, tell you the truth, to me, this is a code for it was too black for TV, too black for America, too black for USA. Which is crazy because meaning Kendrick Lamar could have made the whole set list, the songs from To Pimp a Butterfly if he wanted to. To me, this was probably the most mainstream version of Kendrick Lamar that y'all ever going to get. So mess me with the bullshit. See, this is just another peek inside of people's psyche. You see, Mr. Orange gets back in office, and now it's a big freaking problem. Mr. Orange gets back in office, and now everybody feels emboldened to say, "Well, listen. Nah, we ain't rocking with this." Never mind about the fact of the underlying message that he was trying to convey about the United States, about red and blue being divided. People probably thought of it as, oh, he's talking about the gang sign shit. Well, guess what? The Dems and the Repubs, they're gangs, right? One is red, one is blue. All for the United States of America, all for you. Meanwhile, we got a cocksucker in office talking about trying to make a country the 51st state. I don't hear any retort on that. I don't hear any retort on the numerous executive orders that's being signed. The ongoing attack on our education system, the ongoing attack on our healthcare system, the ongoing attack on numerous agencies. Some I actually agree with, like, yeah, all right, listen, gotta find out if this money is being taken care of the right way. But no, it's not that simple. A lot of it is like, no, we gotta see where this money is going to make sure it goes to the right place, the white place. And I'm not making this a black and white issue. No, I'm making it the have and the have-nots issue. As for the performance, it was all right. It was all right. Me and my brother, the Mojo King, we had a discussion about, isn't it funny that Kendrick Lamar sweeps all the major Grammy nominations based on a quote unquote hip hop disagreement, hip hop beef, and the songs that were born from that. But yet, did he get a clean sweep for To Pimp a Butterfly? Did he get a clean sweep for Good Day? Good Kid, Mad City? Did he get a clean sweep for Damn? Did anybody even pay attention to Mr. Morale? But when he adds some gangster to it, well, gangster that y'all feel, then he gets a clean sweep. It's akin to Denzel Washington getting supporting actor for Glory and winning Best Actor for Training Day when he was that corrupt black cop, Alonso. Shoot program, nigga. Pelican Bay, nigga. Oh, I got cases on all you bitches. If this is how this first month is going to start off, listen. This is my little public servant announcements right now. Before I'm about to wrap this up. If this is what, okay. Matter of fact, let me start over. Some people might ask, even in my household, Dad, did you read such and such? Dad, did you watch such and such? Dad, did you hear such and such? And my common refrain nowadays, nope. And I don't like being ignorant around to what I'm around. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. But I can't be inundated with all this information and get my emotions and my mental all out of whack. And at the end of the day, this time to do something was 2 months ago. We could only take care of what we know. We can only take care of the world that we know. And hopefully everybody takes care of the world that they know, and that overall takes care of the world. Meaning, I can only take care of my household, and I can only take care of the people that I know I can actually have an actual effect on. No matter what papers are getting signed, no matter what acts are being passed, that's above my pay grade. Not saying I don't care about it. It's the fact that I can't overthink about it. I can't stress myself out about it. I can only take care of what I need to do, which is me and mine. Things that I can actually affect with my hands, with my mouth, with my eyes. Watching MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, CBS, the whole nine, watching that day after day after day after day, or watching TikTok and watching people on Instagram say 2 cents and everything. All that dude is going to make you fucking nuts. Trust me, I've been there. Can't do it. Won't do it. Will not do it. Consider myself to be a pundit, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents. And that's my 2 cents. So, this comment or this take from Michael K, amongst other people, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. You know, they want to make America great again. Maybe they're not MAGA, but trust believe, they damn sure ain't BLM. And even that, listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of, matter of fact, that brings us to the end of season 2 finale edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me and this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Please, please, please. Tune in for the season 3 premiere that's tentatively going to drop on March 9th. Not only did the greatest rapper alive pass on March 9th, that will be the season 3 premiere of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. Like I said, I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me the podcast you choose to view and the podcast you choose to listen to. Before I get out of here, I got a couple little tidbits of news that did not make the main cut. Number one, and actually really the last bit of news, is the polar bear, Pete Alonso, has re-signed with the Mets with a 2-year, $54 million contract with the opt-out after the first year. We will definitely do a deep dive at the very beginning of season 3 of El Pod. I plan on having a special guest, Steve Dundeals Vella, on to chop it up with me about the New York Mets moves, this offseason, and what to expect this coming season. And plus just chop it up and just have some fun. I know my brother, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, probably has been very dismayed that I really haven't had that much baseball content on, but being the fact that I will be coming back and premiering pretty much right in the beginning of the spring training season, I figure one of my first guests should be Steve Dundeals, so we can talk about the New York Metropolitans. Yes. Also, coming up during season 3 will be yet another return of IWA's assassin, if you will, Larry Anderson. Yes, to discuss his upcoming match and the IWA card happening in Nutley, New Jersey this coming March. So either I'll try to have him prior to his next match, his next show, or immediately thereafter, so he could discuss in depth what exactly he did to the poor human being that he ended up chopping up in said squared circle. And last but definitely not least, I'm going to put it out there right now because it's already a done deal. Pardon the pun. My guest for the season 3 premiere will be the long-awaited return of Tyler McDowell Blinken, co-host of 19 Media Group's Gimmick Infringement and 4AZ. He will be my very special guest on the season premiere of season 3 of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. It's only right because he's this will be his third time, so it'll be a three-time guest. But not only that, he helped me launch this show, launch this iteration of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast on YouTube almost 2 years ago. 2 years ago, March 6th. So it would be also right for him to actually lead off the third season. And there's no particular thing that we're going to talk about, at least not yet. I got a month to figure out. But anytime me and Tyler come together, it's always a good time. He always pushed me to my limits. And this time I'm going to try to push his buttons in ways that had never been before pushed. So yeah, listen, I'm feeling myself now. Shoot. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be bing, 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 bing. I want to see exactly how red Tyler can get. Can he be as red as his Arizona Cardinals? I don't know. Can I make him as purple as the Phoenix Suns? I don't know. Can he be as red as his ASU Sun Devils? Or will I make him feel as blue as his Arizona Wildcats? Yeah, that's strictly off the top of my head because I am just that dude. But yeah, he will be my first guest on the season 3 premiere of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. Let me get into the plugs real quick. Matter of fact, no banners this time. I'm going to go straight video because the videos actually speak more than the words. First and foremost, the aforementioned gimmick infringement.
And now, gimmick infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blanken, TMB, if you will. It is Sunday as we record this. I'm still kind of tired from the first week back, but Tyler, how we doing?
I bet you are, man. It was quite the weekend. I'm doing great. I was telling you on Friday night, I caught up with one of my best friends from.
Yeah, he was telling me on Friday night that he caught up with one of his best friends. He said that for the last couple of weeks. So I guess it's more reason why I need to come up with a updated clip to promote them. But regardless, please check out Gimmick Infringement, hosted by Brad Winchester and Tyler McDowell Blanken, or TMB for short. Even though I don't like these 3 syllables, TMB. No. But I guess being the fact that I've committed some gimmick infringement, I guess it's only right for him to commit some gimmick infringement. But neither here nor there. Gimmick Infringement, hosted by Brad Winchester and Tyler McDowell Blanken, drops each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube streets, on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group, and all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. And while we're on the Tyler McDowell Blanken train, 4AZ.
I'm your host, Tyler McDowell Blanken. There's a ton going on right now on and off screen. The semester is intensifying, holidays are approaching, and we have so much Abbott Elementary to discuss. I welcome 19 Media's Mike Steph to recap episodes 5 and 6 of season 4. These are 2 of my favorite episodes of the season. Episode 5, Dad Fight, was hilarious, and episode 6, The Deli, featured some character development, some Philly, and even the return of a cast member. Mike and I discuss all of that and more on this edition. Follow us at 4AZTeach or check out 4azteach.org for show updates and episode announcements. Please be sure to like this video, leave us a comment below if you're watching on YouTube, or even share it with a friend. It all goes a long way. Thank you, and enjoy.
There is a reason why I specifically played that clip from 4AZ. Well, first of all, because that was my initial appearance on 4AZ, which I'm so grateful that he allowed me on that platform, because I don't know, for some reason I feel like that platform is sacred ground in my mind. So for him to allow me to come on that soil, so to speak, really means a lot to me. And just a hint, if you check out the next edition of 4AZ, which will be dropping, I believe, Wednesday, February 19th, if I'm not mistaken, you might just see some more surprises. Yeah, they are continuing reviewing season 4 of Abbott Elementary, and I wonder who's going to be his guest. I don't know. I don't know. But moving along, check out the young OG himself, Desmond Powell from Hip to the Games. Here.
Hip to the Games, the podcast for you, the basketball junkie and the hip hop head. I'm your host, Desmond, and I too have had hoop dreams and enjoy the beautiful genre of hip hop and its history. Together, we will enjoy some of the greatest albums, songs, artists, players, moments, teams, and so much more, while even mixing the two on occasion, all in my hope that you remember why you love both or either of these to begin with. You'll soon understand that Hip to the Games is more than just a podcast. It's a lifestyle. And if you were looking for a platform that combines both basketball and hip hop, you've come to the right place.
Please check out the young OG, Desmond Powell, and Hip to the Games each and every Friday on the YouTube channel of 19 Media Group and all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Please check them out, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment, the whole nine, and let them know that I sent you. Yeah. So, last but not least, of course, is my second entity, the one that I share with, the Mojo King, and that's Hidden Gems Football.
Say it to you slowly and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Hidden Gems Football, our season finale, will drop this week with a post Super Bowl show, which we've never done before. During this football season, new episodes drop each and every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel and all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Hosted by myself and the Mojo King. Please check out Hidden Gems Football. You'll be glad you did. And I'd like to once again give a extreme shout out to each and every one of y'all who checked out this week's current edition of Hidden Gems Football, which was a Super Bowl preview with friends. And we have a lot of cameos. And I can't describe the amount of elation that I felt when I watched it back with the amount of people that helped us fill out the episode and really just really filled me with joy. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. This season was probably our best ever. Even with scheduling conflicts, we made sure we didn't miss not 1 week. So it's only going to be bigger and better next year. And
say it to you slowly and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Yeah. So please check out Gimmick Infringement. Now, last but definitely not least, this past Saturday was 4-year anniversary of my oldest son Nikai's passing. He'll be 30 this year in July, and every year has been hard. It's not supposed to be easy. The stage of the grief and all that technical terms, but every year has been hard, and every year I've had to try to figure out a way to navigate or a way to understand my feelings, embrace my feelings, go from sorrow to celebration, go from isolation to making sure that my family, my wife, my children are okay, are in a good place, a good place as far as they're concerned. So this year, now one of the things that has happened in the last couple of years, especially concerning Hidden Gems football, has been that my brother Mo has always put a tribute video during our season finale, and I've said pretty much since my son Nikai passed that I would remember him, but I would never want to come off as I was exploiting or trying to get clicks for sympathy and so forth. But that was then. It's still now, but that's the way my mind would go, right? Long story short, so this year I decided that I'm going to put his tribute video on my platform, which we had a discussion, and he kind of said, he's like, yeah, it should have been on yours, which I understand. It wasn't in a flippant way at all, not at all, but I explained to him why the hesitancy or whatever. But yeah, I watched this video back, and I remember everything. I mean, I watch it every year, but I watched the video back, and I remember especially the interview at the end where he's discussing his upcoming job for UPS and impending, waiting for the impending birth of our oldest grandson, our oldest grandchild, who just turned 9 last month. And it's just, we miss him. We miss him and love him. And we're just so grateful that we have 3 gifts that he left us, that we can get a piece of him, even though we can't get him in its entirety. Like I said, all my grandchildren look like a piece of him. But Nikai, Kai, Daddy loves you. Daddy's always loved you. And without you, I don't know if I would be here, period. Whether or not, health-wise, mentally-wise, I don't know what I would be, but regardless, you coming into my life made me who I am. And I truly love you. And I'll leave y'all with this. I'll see y'all in a month. And until later.
With the first pick in the 2016 BTR NBA Draft, the Nets select Nikai Lewis. 44, BGR Sports. I'm here with Nikai Lewis, player of the game. He scores 31 points in the victory against Wichita State. Tell us about your performance tonight.
My team was just shooting me the ball. I felt hot at the beginning of the game. I was trying to get the ball up, moving around. My team into the game. Then late in the game, I seen it open, so I just took charge.
All right, your team is now 2-0. Talk about your team's performance in the first 2 games.
The first 2 games, I told my teammates, let's just push it. Every chance we get at fast break, make every layup, don't cause a lot of turnovers, and just took over.
All right, this summer you won a championship. Now you're in the NCAA 2-0. What else is planned for you in this future? What are your goals?
Well, my goals in the future right now is to get ready for this UPS job and to be able to be a father, good father at that. So, we'll take it one day at a time.
All right, congratulations. I'm here with Nikai Lewis, player of the game, 31 points against Wichita State. Congratulations and thank you.